Hi, I'm Resul Pookutty. You're watching me on iFlickz.com. First of all, I don't choose films. Film chooses me. So you can't blame me for that. And you said with Slumdog, I had an overnight success and an overnight star, become a brand. Yes, it happened over a night. But that night had 14 years long duration. It is not just one night. I worked 14 years in changing how sound as a craft is conceived and perceived in the mainstream Indian cinema. It is 14 years of my hard work just got recognized that night. That's when you came to know me. I existed before. I had my own struggles and I have my own travails in the industry and taking my craft forward. So that overnight success I denounce from the bottom of my heart with tooth and nail. I denounce it. It is not an overnight success. And there are many other people like me who worked. I still believe that there are better sound designers in this country who haven't got recognition like the way I got it. But by virtue of me getting it, they all got recognized in a sense for me. So I look at recognition that way. The other aspect that you've pointed out, that Slumdog portrayed Indian poverty. Remember, Slumdog was based on a book written by one of the India's most prominent IFS officers, who knew India, who represented India in the international sphere of our governance. So if he is talking about India's poverty, it is not Danny Boyle who has done it. Danny Boyle just taken that vision into another level. Now, my country has problem, my country has poverty. Why the heck I should run away from it? Why the heck I should take a backseat in portraying it? I am not running away from it. I am not going to hide it from anybody else. I am going to say that my country has problem and I am going to deal with it. I am staying here. Every piece of my work, every international recognition that I got for the work that I have done in India. And I haven't moved out of India for greener pastures, for better money. No, I am living here, I am working here, I am with my people. So I have not ran away. And I truly believe every artist, his sole purpose on this earth is to torch a light and show to the world and his time and his society that this is what is going on. So every artist and his work is a true reflection of his time, and if that time has poverty, let's deal with it. And I am very, very perturbed by the fact that when people talk about Slumdog, you are only talking about the poverty of India. Slumdog has much bigger dimension. Imagine Slumdog. We made Slumdog and at a shoestring budget of about $12 million, and it collected about $379 all over the world, $1 million. And it happened during one of the worst economical depression in the world. Why do you think people will go and watch a movie when they can save $10 and have a 1-week meal? The reason is that film told the world that money is not everything. Otherwise, why would Jamal take the last question? His only quest in the film is to find his love. So that film has reiterated over and over the fact that money is not everything. That is why Slumdog has gone wherever it has gone. So please do not look at Slumdog with such a reductionist point of view. Coming back to India's daughter, yes, when Nirbhaya incident happened, I wept in my living room looking at the events unfolding in the country, and I felt that an incident like Nirbhaya should not happen to anybody in this world. To your worst enemy, that should not happen. It was that cruel an incident. It talks about us as a society. What makes somebody a criminal? You and me are a reason for it. The film analyzes what actually happened. It is not the immediate attention of what happened to Nirbhaya. It is a socio-political analysis of what is happening to Indian society. I would want, if I am the Prime Minister of this country today, I would want a film like Nirbhaya to be shown in every schools and colleges, to be shown in every household. I would show that film in Doordarshan so that it can be beam across to every household. Every mother, every sister has to teach their brothers, fathers, the male in their society, in their household, how to behave with a woman. That film teaches us the biggest lesson. We loathe a country and its people who believe in motherland. We say Bharat Mata ki Jai, and we treat our women so badly. I feel every woman who is subjected to or inflicted to violence in this country is a Dalit. So I come from that perspective. So I feel sad about the fact that a work that has been recognized by the world of mine is not being seen by the people of this country. So my part about India's Daughter is that I do not choose them, they come to me, and I solely and truly and genuinely I put my work forth. Everything comes with it is not my choice. It comes on me, it falls on me, and I accept that with utmost humility. When I received that award, last year I was nominated for a Hindi film called Roar. First time ever a Hindi film was nominated for MPSC, and this year I had a double nomination, one for Unfreedom and one for India's Daughter. And unfortunately both the films are banned in India for whatever reason it is. A government has their own reasons, and we are not government to question them and justify whatever it is. I am an artist. I do my job. I do my work diligently. I have my conscience, and I truly believe in certain things, and I try and portray that. When my work was recognized, I went up on the stage and I said, this is what I said. I said the youth of India stood up for Nirbhaya, and we had shown to the world, and we become an example to the rest of the world, that violence against women will not be tolerated. All those youth that came out on the street in Delhi, Bangalore, Bombay, Trivandrum, anywhere, all the cities, it was the youth who carried the soul of Nirbhaya, and it was an example, perfect example of how Indian democracy, the youth of this country will not tolerate injustice. The film was an embodiment of that. Nirbhaya's soul is an embodiment of the spirit of India's youth. That is what I said there, and they gave me a standing ovation. Because it's an award recognized by the peer group, all the sound designers in the world, they are the ones who comes together and vote for you. And when the fraternity of sound designers say that you are the best sound designer this year, of course it carries more weight within the fraternity. Of course, Oscar also, I am the first Asian to win an Oscar in the technical category, and that also carries a lot of weight. And I am not showing Oscar in a lesser light, because that has given me everything. The fact that today you are sitting here in this room and waiting to talk to me is because of that. That has given my craft a recognition in the minds of people. Today, hosts of youngsters who wants to come and study sound is a result of that. So for me, it is equally important. One is very close to my heart. One is complete sense of jubilation. It comes from one small, simple aspect. I came to Film Institute against my parents' wishes, and I didn't have money to study. I studied with 500 rupees scholarship. That was a scholarship INB ministry used to give to the first rank holder, and my state government gives me 300 rupees. So I had 800 rupees per month, and I studied with that money. And so I had a budget every day. I had a 2 rupee breakfast, I had 5 rupee lunch, and I have a 7 rupee dinner, and Sunday no dinner. I lived 3.5 years in the Film Institute like that, on a budget. When I was studying in the Film Institute, the fees of the institute was about 600 rupees. And when I was in the third year, that fees was jacked up to 2000 rupees. and I couldn't manage with my scholarship. How I struggled to meet the end, I only know. Today, that institute carries 2.5 lakh rupees as the fee, you know. So, if today's structure existed at that time, I wouldn't have become a film student. I wouldn't have become what I have become. And I think that says a lot, you know. That is what 95% of Indian village boys are even living in that conditions today, you know. The 90% of India is still the same, you know. 80% of India doesn't have electricity, you know. And I thought, I had a dream when I came to the film school. I came with a dream, and I wanted to give that dream back to somebody in the country, you know. So I instituted a scholarship. So Resul Pookutty Foundation germinated from that idea, that I wanted to give that one dream back to one person, you know. And IFA came forward. They wanted to honor me after the Oscars, and I said, instead of giving me one more statue, which is not going to be a bigger statue than what I have in my kitty, you help me to give scholarship. And IFA came forward, and IFA Foundation and Resul Pookutty, we came together and instituted a scholarship. That was the beginning of it. Then I realized that you know, I always remember what Rahman has said once after the Oscars we won. Rahman said, it is a torch that Allah has given in your hand, so hold it straight so that you can spread goodness. And there were a lot of people came to my life, you know, after the Oscars, and a lot of powerful people, a lot of people who have a lot of influence and money and everything. I just wanted to channelize all that. I didn't want to take anything home, you know. If you look at it, I never encashed commercially my success. I never stood for, you know, anybody's you know, branding. I never stood for anything. What I did is I whatever that came into my way, I channelized it so that can come into people's goodness. So the medical program is one such channelization. The educational program is one such channelization. And even today, people come and I channelize it. I'm a trustee to one of the biggest cancer foundation in the country today. So everything that came to me, I didn't ran for anything. So I thought that is what you know, you do. That's what Asim Premji has done. That is what Narayana Murthy has done. That's what every sensible people in this country has done, you know. And this country is a country of givers, you know. And we are seekers at the same time we are givers, you know. That's tradition that we have. In every film, our job is to take the director's vision forward, you know. You combine your artistry, your knowledge of the craft with your director's vision, and here Shankar is the real star, you know. All of us are working towards, and Rajani sir is a physical representation of Shankar's vision, and we are all, I am the auditor representation. There is Rahman, you know, there are many other people who is working day in day out on that. The beauty of Shankar's work is that he perfectly understands the Indian mainstream psyche, you know, and he has lovely stories to tell, and especially when film like Avatar, film like Fast and Furious, film like Jungle Book is collectively taking 300-400 crore from this country without spending a single penny in its making. You know, they are taking the resources of this country away from its people without spending a single penny in its making. Where, you know, a vision of somebody like Shankar gives a larger than life experience, like the way what Hollywood is able to do. And you know, I think the sole purpose of films like these are to consolidate our own audiences, you know, and we are just part of it, you know. We are, every day I get goosebumps. Every day I think of Enthiran 2, I get sleepless nights, you know, because you know, every time Shankar says that you look at a mountain and don't get appalled by the fact that it's a huge mountain. You know, we have to take baby steps to climb it, you know. So I'm taking baby steps. For me, every film is my new film, my first film. So I have my own apprehensions. I have my own, you know, struggles with it. Whether you know, what I do will be accepted. Whether I am going in concurrent with somebody else's vision. You know, the biggest thing about cinema as an art form is that you are riding on somebody else's vision. You know, and you have to find parallels with it. So every film is a challenge like that. I just finished a film called Love Sonia, produced by David Womack is the same guy who's made a Life of Pi. Very dear friend of mine who also worked in Slumdog Millionaire. Tabriz Noorani is the director of the movie. It's again a film that is going to be, probably going to be talk of the world, because when you talk about global warming and what has happened to somebody who has nothing to do with carbon emission, what happens to his life, because somebody else somewhere else in the world is being wanting to live in comfort. It talks about humanity at large. That is a film that I've just done, and there is I worked in Inferno for a bit. That is coming up next, and I have Kabul, and I'm also working on another Malayalam film which is based on the life of the poetess Kamala Das, her biopic with Vidya Balan, and another Marathi film I'm working on, and I'm doing a Kannada film, and yeah, there are a couple of more Hindi films I can't remember now, and yeah, the plate looks full, and also trying to put on my films and my own, every day I get to read scripts. I have at least a backlog of 5 scripts every week that I am going. Everywhere I go, I carry my scripts, and comes across such vibrant writing from the youngsters. Particularly a script that I recently read. I'm very fond of it, and I want to help that boy to make his movie. So yeah, life is going on.